Hello everybody and welcome to our week one of our athletics club for Key Stage 2. Now, over the next few weeks we're going to be looking at different types of athletics and different activities we can do at home that will help you improve your overall athletics. So when we're talking about athletics, we're talking about some running, okay? So it might not just be sprinting, it might be long distance running, sprinting, it could be running and jumping at the same time. Okay, we're also going into looking at some throwing, so we're throwing different objects, seeing how far we can throw, seeing if we can throw with accuracy as well. And also finally, we'll be looking at some jumping, so different types of jumps, different distances, speed of jumps. Okay, so over the next few weeks, we'll be looking at lots of different aspects of athletics. So for week one, we're going to be looking at some, we're going to do a quick little warm up, but you'll find out in a minute, and then we're going to go on to some quick reaction speed tests. So we're going to see how quickly we can react and sprint, and then we're going to go on to a throwing activity and a jumping activity. All right, and as the video goes on, you will have chances to stop and take part in different parts, and then play again, and then you can continue the video as you please. There's no rush to do it, you do it in your time. If you want to spend a bit longer on one activity than the other, that's fine as well. So very quickly, before we get going, equipment you're going to need today, all I've got is different cones, markers. If you haven't got cones at home, there can be different objects you can use just to mark out spaces and mark out distances. I've also got a beanbag to throw with, and we're going to use that to balance with. So something that you can throw that is safe to throw. Don't obviously throw anything that isn't safe to throw. And also something that can balance on your head that we're going to use. And I've got a hoop. You don't need a hoop, but I'm going to be using a hoop for a little bit of it today. So get ready for the warm up and off we go. Okay, so for our warm up today, we're going to be using our beanbag. Okay, I've marked out a little space, but you can literally just use whatever space you have. All we're going to do is we're going to start off just trying to balance the beanbag on our head. So you place the beanbag on your head. Can you keep that balance? It might slip off. If it does fall off, all you've got to do, literally just put it back on, okay, and try and hold that balance again. Can you just keep that balance there for say 5 seconds? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Once you've done that, we're going to start to try and move around the area while keeping the beanbag on our head. So all we're doing, just walking around. I'm not going too fast. I'm keeping my arms out just to help with my balance. Okay, and all I'm doing is just focusing on the movement and keeping the balance with the beanbag on my head. Again, to progress from there, okay, we're now going to try and get to each corner of my area. So all I'm going to do is walk out. Okay. Now, can I bend down and touch that cone? Back to the middle. Out to this corner. Can I bend down and touch the cone? While the beanbag's still on my head. Back to the middle. Out to the far corner. Bend down, touch the cone. Back to the middle. And finally, can I get to the fourth corner of the area? Okay, now, if you're inside or in your garden, that can literally just be touch the fence or touch some objects in the room, okay? If you're feeling really confident, now you might want to try and do that at a little bit quicker pace. Now this might fall off if I try, because I haven't tried before, but now I'm going to try and go a little bit faster. Touch, back to the middle, a little faster, touch, back to the middle, a little faster, back to the middle. Can I get the fourth one? And back to the middle. Now, have a little try, no more than 5 minutes on this, okay? Give it a go and we will see how you get on, and then we're going to move on to our main activity in a minute. Okay, so now moving on to our main activity, I've set out 2 markers, okay? They're literally just 10 steps apart. If you haven't got 10 steps, then you can do 5, or if you've got longer and you want to challenge yourself, you can go even further, okay? If you do have an adult at home who can help you with this to start you off and maybe even time you to see if you can beat your time throughout, then that'll be great. Again, if you haven't, then that's fine, just give it a go. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to start off on this one marker, okay, and when I hear the go, I'm going to sprint off to as fast as I can to the second marker down there. This is all about you and your reactions to your start, okay, and how quickly you can accelerate and build up your speed to get to the marker. All right, so nice and simple. All we're going to do is start off with a standing position, okay, and go. All I'm going to do is sprint up, get to the line. How quickly can you react from this marker and get to that marker? Okay, I want you to have 3 attempts at this, and like I said, if you can time yourself and try and beat your time each time, that'd be great. If not, have 3 goes, and then we're going to move on to something else. Okay, give it a try. Okay, so moving on now to challenge number 2. Same activity, same distance. Okay, this time all we're going to do is start sitting on the floor. Okay, so we're in this position, and all you're going to do when you hear the go, stand up, sprint to the other line, and go. So again, a little bit harder because you've got to start from the ground, get yourself up, and then sprint. Okay, again, have 3 attempts and see how you get on, and then we're going to move on. Okay, so moving on now, we're going to get a little bit harder now. So we're going to go down into right down to the floor, and we're going to lay down on our backs, feet out, legs straight, head facing the sky or the ceiling, and same again. Go, up again, and sprint. Again, a lot harder from the floor to get to your feet and then to accelerate and sprint. Okay, so each time we get a little bit harder now. All right, 3 more attempts at that one and see if you can beat your time. Okay, so our final challenge with this activity is going to be in the plank position to start. Okay, so if you're not familiar with the plank position, make sure you're watching carefully. Okay, we're going to go down to the floor. Okay, we're going to have our arms out just like this and our bodies off the ground. Okay, now this is the position you're going to start in, head down and go, up and sprint. Again, a little bit harder now because you're in that balance, and then you've got to get from the balance to your feet and then to sprint. Okay, have a go at this 3 times and see if you can beat your scores. Okay guys, so we are going to move on now from our running, and we're going to attempt a little bit of throwing. So today I'm going to be throwing our beanbag. All I've done is I've marked out 5 different markers. Okay, I've used 5 different colour cones. Again, if you haven't got cones at home, you can use anything as long as it's safe to throw at. All right, and also if you haven't got a beanbag at home, then you can use anything you have. Again, make sure it's safe to throw, you're not going to break anything. So I'm going to start in the hoop, and the main aim of this is your throwing accuracy. Okay, so I'm starting with the first cone, which is our red cone. All right, before I move on from the red cone, I have to hit it with the beanbag. Okay, I keep trying to hit the red cone. If I hit it, then I can move on to the blue, and if I hit the blue, move on to the yellow, and then so on. All right, the aim is to get all the way to the final marker, which is the orange cone at the end. Okay, so I'm going to have a little go so you can see what you have to do. Okay, so watch me first, and then you can go and have your set it up, and you can have a go yourselves at home. All right, so starting from the blue, I'm going to start with the underarm throw. Okay, so not much power behind this because the cone isn't too far. I'm keeping my eyes on the cone as I'm trying to hit it. Okay, I hit the red cone. All right, go and collect. And now I'm going to move on. I can move on to number 2, which is the blue cone. Again, I'm going to use my underarm technique for this. Okay, I'm trying to hit the blue cone. Okay, so I missed, so I cannot move on from the blue until I hit it. So I collect again, and back to the start, and I'm going to have another attempt at the blue cone. Just about hit it. Okay, so I can now move on to number 3, which is our yellow cone. As the distances get longer, we might want to change our throwing technique. Okay, so other techniques we might have, we might go for the overarm throw. Okay, so I'm going to attempt the overarm throw. I'm trying to hit number 3, the yellow. Okay, oh, a little bit far. Okay, so if you feel that your overarm throw is a little bit too far, go back to the underarm throw. Okay, so I can't move on from the yellow. I've got to hit the yellow before I move on. Okay, so underarm this time, in the hoop. And I hit the yellow with the underarm. So I can now move on to number 4, which is the green cone. Okay, this time I'm definitely going to use the overarm technique. Okay, so overarm again. When using the overarm technique, you might want to use your other arm to try and aim at the target you're trying to hit. So I'm going to put my arm out, facing the green, okay, and I'm going to try and throw towards it. Again, just missed the green, so I cannot move on to the orange until I hit the green. I'm going to have one more go at the green. If I don't hit it this time, then I'm going to let you guys have a go at home. Oh, okay, so I've hit the green. I can move on to the orange. Can I complete the challenge by hitting the orange cone? Again, using the overarm technique. I just missed the orange, okay? I'm not going to have another go. I'm going to let you guys have a try. Can you complete the whole course? And maybe can you complete it quicker than I can? Give it a go. Okay, so for our final activity today in this club, we are going to look at some standing long jump. Okay, so very simple. All you're going to need for this is, again, two cones, 2 markers, whatever you can find at home to use. All right, so you're going to start off with 1 marker, literally just as your starter. So I'm going to put that marker down on the floor, and I'm going to stand next to it. And all I'm going to do, okay, is I'm going to stand and I'm going to jump. I'm not going to talk about technique at this stage. Stand and jump and see how far I can go. Okay. All I'm going to do, stand, jump, and where I land, oh, I put the cone down. Okay, so that's my starter. That's my first jump. So now we're going to go into a little bit of technique with the standing long jump. All right. So what I'm looking for, I'm going to try and beat my jump on my next jump. All right. So I'm looking for good balance to start with. Okay. So good balance and slightly bend our knees. Okay. So get a good balance, and this is also how we want to land. We want to land in this balanced position so we don't fall back, okay, or fall forward. All right, so slightly bend our knees, okay, and we're going to swing our arms. As we go back, we're then going to jump up high and see how far we can extend our legs forward and jump. So a little bit more of a technique now. Okay, swing my arms, bend my knees, down and jump. So again, just a little bit of technique. I've gone a little bit further. Okay, now move the cone. Every time you beat your jump, you're going to move your cone further. All right, I know I can jump further, okay, and I know you guys can probably jump further than that as well. Okay, so in a minute you're going to go off and have a try yourself. I'm going to do one more jump, and this time I'm really going to try hard, really bend my knees and jump up high. Okay, swing my arms, 1, and again I've gone further. So once you've had say 3 or 4 attempts, okay, you can maybe even measure your jump to see how far you can jump, and let us know how far you can jump. All right, give it a try. Think about the technique. Okay, it's really important you get the technique right with the bending your knees, swinging your arms, and then see how far you can go. All right, have a go. Hello everybody, thank you for taking part today. I hope you enjoyed it. So things we learned today with our running, it was all about our quick reactions and speed. With our throwing, it was all about accuracy, different types of throw, the underarm throw, the overarm throw, and our jumping, we was looking at the standing long jump today. Okay, so the technique we were using was the bending the knees and swinging our arms. Okay, so just next week we're going to move on to some different activities. Again, we're going to be focusing on our 3 main parts of athletics, which is the running, the jumping and the throwing. Okay, so I hope to see you all next week, and see you then.